Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Cage Talk. Today we have former TKO middleweight champion, former TPF middleweight champion, also fought in the UFC, also fought in the Elite XC. We have the legend himself, David the Crow Loiseau. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know,
Hey, you also forgot former UFC #1 contender.
There we go. I'm sorry about that.
No,
Negative
it's all
points
good,
on my
man.
boy, but
It's all good, bro.
yeah, definitely. Again, if no one knows who you are, then they don't really know mixed martial arts. I mean, you were actually the first French-speaking Canadian to fight in the UFC, so that's pretty cool. Again, was a killer in the cage. You had one of the I loved watching your spinning back kick. Your spinning back kick was, I mean, if anybody wants to see a stellar move and being perfected at its best, I mean, just watch a couple of your fights, man. And again, you knocked out what's his name, Charles McCarthy with it, and it was, I mean, it was nice. I loved it. So again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Love you. Love everything that you did, man. And you've been quite busy after fighting as well, which we'll get into that. You seem like you have, your acting career is going down a very strong path, man. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But again, thank you for coming on the show. And, glad to have you.
Man, glad to be here, man. Just let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do this. All right, man. So April 2003. All right, UFC 42. Does that ring a bell for you, bud?
Yeah, my first UFC fight.
Yes, sir.
Miami, American Airlines Arena in Miami.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was first fight of the night.
Yep.
I fought Mark Weir from England.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beat him.
The main event was Matt Hughes versus Sean Shirk.
Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the co-main event was Pete Spratt versus Robbie Lawler.
Definitely, yeah. There you go. Obviously, you know that probably that day more than anyone. How was that, man? How was that? Tell me about it. Tell me about how was that whole journey to your first UFC debut, man? What were the emotions? What was going through your mind?
I mean, there's obviously some pressure. I'm the first one from Montreal, from Quebec to fight in the UFC. So, there was a lot of eyes on me. Not only, the fans from Montreal, but also the UFC. They're like, let's see what these guys from Quebec have. You know what I'm saying? Because they never had a guy from my town, from Montreal, competing for them. So I was the first guy. And, I performed very well. I had a first-round knockout.
Definitely.
It was a good fight. Took Mark Weir down and did some serious damage on the ground and pound. It was good. I was super happy, man. I was with my trainers, my training partners. It was such a good feeling, because fighting in Miami for me is like fighting at home, because half my family is in Miami. So it's kind of cool. The timing was perfect, and the place, the arena, I mean, everything was good, man. And it was good timing. It was fun.
Perfect. What part of Miami, if you don't mind me asking?
My family, North Miami.
Okay, North Miami. All right, yeah. I used to live.
I have people north. I have people. I have a few people in South Beach. Have some people in Boca.
Okay.
But, yeah.
You got them spread out. Yeah, I used to live in Kendall in Miami. So
okay.
For a while back before I moved.
Man, how do you guys do it with all the roads, man? Damn. Yo, the roads in Miami. Thank God there's an app I use called Waze. Yo, thank God for these apps, man. Yo, to get around in Miami, it's like
it's crazy. It's Hialeah. It's one part of Miami. It's Hialeah, which the streets don't make sense, and they go. It's weird. It's confusing. Yeah, Hialeah.
Hey, man. I'm talking about all the highways, 95, I-95, 75, north, south.
Florida Turnpike.
Turnpike, this, that. Dude, man, it's crazy.
Oh man, I mean, again, Miami in itself it's a crazy place, but you know what? Texas is not. It's not far from it, man. There's so many highways to get everywhere now.
Oh, you in Texas now?
Yeah. I live in Texas now. I used to live in Miami. Now I live in Texas. But I mean, again, the Texas, like people driving in Texas is nuts, man. They don't. I've seen so many car accidents, so many cars on fire and stuff. You wouldn't even. I thought it was. I was in a movie, man. These people just drive nuts. So
crazy.
It is. It's crazy times, man. But going back to your career, man. All right. So you had that TKO victory. Then you had another fight. You lost.
Yeah, fought Jorge Rivera.
Yep.
Very tough, rugged fighter. Very good guy too, man. I lost the decision. It was my first pay-per-view fight. I lost by decision. But during my career, man, a lot of ups and downs. I didn't have the most consistent career. That's one thing that I now looking back, I'm like, yeah, man, it wasn't consistent. There was a lot of wins, but ups and downs. But especially in MMA, I mean, it's kind of not a lot of people go like 20 fight win streak. There's GSP, John Jones, and Habib that do stuff like that. Like there's not many guys that go many fights without losing.
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, man, I was about putting on a great show for the fans. Making sure that the fans enjoyed my fights, and I did the best I could. I have zero regrets, man. I'm just, man. Looking back, I'm super proud of what I've accomplished, I have zero regrets. Any of my losses, I'm like, hey, man, it is what it is, man. It's a learning process. Definitely. One thing about losing, man, if you accept the loss, if you accept it like a man and don't start blaming anybody but yourself, and you take accountability, man, it gives you so much power. You can learn so much when you're accountable for your mistakes, I hear a lot of guys, man, pointing fingers. Oh, the coach this, the coach that, or the opponent,
injured.
Yeah. No, not in one podcast, interview, or whatever. Never you heard me point fingers.
Definitely.
I take it like a man. You have to take it like a man. You win on any day. You can win or you lose, but can you win or lose like a man?
Definitely.
That's the question.
And you know what? I respect everything that you did, man. On in the ring and out of the ring. Again, you're just a gentleman in that fact. And again, you always put out a good performance. That's why you're one of my favorite fighters, just because you laid it all on the line and it was great.
Thank you.
After you left UFC, you went to TKO, which started, wasn't it the Canadian base? It was UCC, correct? And then TKO bought it out.
UCC turned into TKO. Yeah. So I went UCC, TKO. I went to the UFC, then went back to TKO, back and forth. A lot of fighters did that, especially back in the day, because UFC would cut fighters very, very quick because, I mean, they didn't have many events. Like they had like maybe 4 events a year. I remember like we all got cut. Even George GSP got cut, man. After he lost to Matt Hughes, the title fight, he had to go back to TKO to fight Dave Strasser. Like he went back. Like it's like back in the day. If you lost, you're out right away. Now now it's different.
Yeah. Now, again, you came back to the UFC, right? You had TKO victories over Gideon Ray, Evan Tanner, and like I said, the one of my favorite fights, the Charles McCarthy, and then you fought for the middleweight championship. You fought Rich Franklin, UFC. I think it was UFC 58, USA versus Canada.
Yeah,
and it was a tough fight. I mean, I remember watching that. I mean, it went to decision and stuff. How was it going in each round? What was your game plan, especially going against Rich Franklin and stuff, and especially being a title fight?
I feel I was kind of gun shy. Like I was overwhelmed. I think there was his experience, his pressure, and
Hmm.
his like he was better than me that night. Like I have nothing to say. Like he was the better man. Um, he just I had a hard time dealing with his style, his awkward style, his southpaw style.
Hmm.
It was he's a very experienced fighter, um, tough, durable fighter, and I fought my heart out after every round. Man, after the first round, I kind of got cut and I couldn't see too well.
Okay.
But from the first round, I said, you know what, one more round. Let's go one more round, man. Just one more. And then second round, I'm getting beat up again. I'm like, suck it up, bro. One more. I was taking one round. I was taking the fight one round at a time. And
Okay.
then the third round, I end up dropping him, dropping Rich with a left hook.
Hmm.
I go back to the corner. Okay, man. See what happens when you keep going. Just keep trying. Even though he was overwhelming me, he was dominating me, he was pressuring me the whole fight. I never gave up, and that's one thing about me. At first, after the fight when I lost, there was a lot of mean comments. A lot of people were mean to me, like saying bad things and stuff. So I was kind of ashamed. I was embarrassed of my performance. But now today, when I look back in 2020, I look back, man, I couldn't be more proud of what I've done, what I've accomplished. Like the heart that I had, the heart that I showed,
Yep. You showed.
man. Right now, I teach. I have a martial arts school, man. I want everybody to see my fight. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, cause that heart that I have
You
is
can't
what
teach it to
you
people.
get. Yeah, you can't teach that, and you gotta work your butt off to eventually get that heart. But even these guys that train a lot that don't have the heart, man. How many guys find a way out in a fight, man? Like they can't see, they're hurt
Yep.
here, hurt there. Man, I was hurt. I was hurting everywhere. Watch the fight. You want to see a real life Rocky? Watch me
Yep.
against Rich Franklin. I got dropped, got back up, dropped, got back up. You know what I'm saying? And at the
Your
end of
eye
the
was swollen.
yeah,
Remember that.
yeah,
Remember that,
yeah.
man.
At the end of the fight, I was standing. I lost. I got beat up. I know, but you know what I'm saying? I showed heart. I never gave up, and that's what I, that's what I'm passing on to the next generation, man. I like to inspire and motivate people, and you got to be relentless. You got to be persistent. You can't, even though they come at you with stuff that's overwhelming,
Definitely.
you got to weather the storm, and always, you know what I'm saying, keep that mentality. Yo, one more round. Let's go.
Definitely. And again, I think you won um, many fans over. Just again, incredible heart. You can't teach that in a fighter. You can teach them how to stand up. You can teach them how to do a takedown, this and that, and how to defend stuff. But heart, that's something else, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the person. That's their experiences in their life and stuff that they've gone through, and that motivation. And again, you laid it all on the line, like you said.
yeah,
That's all you can.
yeah.
That's all you can give. That's it. And again, I was still a big fan regardless. I like Rich, and I like you, but those are. It's like one of those fights where it kind of sucks. Like having your like two best friends fighting. You're like, damn it, I rather like him win it.
Man, man, I love Rich, man. I love Rich myself, man. Rich is, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a cool guy who always hung out because we used to fight on local shows in Montreal. Like he used to have teammates fighting, and we met way back
Okay.
before we met before we fought, man. Me and Rich go way back, man. And there was a rivalry between my camp and his camp. Like he was affiliated with the Militich camp,
Milton
you know.
champ. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and Monty Cox was his manager, and then Monty Cox had all the guys from Militich, and I was the Montreal fighter, and then there was a lot of guys from TriStar and all that stuff. So yeah, man, we fought each other's teammates, and we ended up fighting each other, man. And it's all good. At the end of the day, it was a great experience. And how many people can say, man, I headlined the UFC in Vegas, fought for the UFC world title, and lost the decision. I mean, it's you know what I'm saying. I fought at the highest level in combat sports. You
Yep.
know, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like you can talk all the smack you want. It's not easy to fight, to headline, you know what I'm saying, like pay-per-view, be the you know, the number one contender and fighting for the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's easier for some people than others. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, man, it's that's the life I chose. So
definitely.
I'm okay with wins and losses, man.
There we go, man. Again, I think a lot of people, it's easier to say, like, oh, man, why did he do that? Oh, why did he do that? Or I could have, like, oh, what? He lost in that way, or he lost that fast. But again, man, these people are this is like the top of the line. A lot of people don't get that, I think, man. People just see it like that, like, oh, man, he should have never lost. Oh, he should never done that. Oh, he lost that easily. Like, it's not like that, man. You go in front of these people, man. They're trained to fight every single day. And again, like you said, that you're in the highest level of competition. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, this fight, you know what I'm saying, like, it was a 5-round war. A lot of people say, you know, I was never the same after that fight. Neither was Rich. Rich, after this fight, had to fight Anderson Silva. Let me tell you something. What happened to Rich? When Rich fought me, he broke his ankle and his wrist. Like, I broke his wrist with a kick, and he broke his ankle kicking my elbow. And he had 2 surgeries. You know what I'm saying? He had a cast on both. And then after that, he had to recover, and then he fought Anderson Silva. And I truly believe that the Rich Franklin before my fight would have gave a totally different. It would have been a totally different story with Anderson Silva. I'm telling you, Rich Franklin is a bad morasoka.
Yeah, man.
He's a bad dude, man. And the thing is, like, it was. I I think it was a tough fight. It changed both of us, man.
Definitely. And you can say that, though. Fights change people, correct?
Of
Change
course,
players all the
of
time.
course. It doesn't change my personality, your person, but it changes how it feels in the cage. Like, after that fight, I had some good fights, but I never performed on a big show. I never performed well after the Rich Franklin fight. Like, on smaller shows, I had a few 10, 15-second knockouts, and then like explosive, dynamic knockouts, you know, performances.
Mm-hmm.
But on the big stage, like, I went back to UFC on the big stage, and it was never the same.
It
I
wasn't.
was never the same, and it's okay, man. It's okay. It happens. You know, that's life.
Yeah,
That's life. You know, it's like they say, it is what it is, man. It's learning process. You know, you gotta learn. When you lose, you gotta learn the lesson, man. You have to
definitely.
learn the lesson.
All right. And again, like we were saying, after the UFC, you went to TKO, had a couple fights there. But this is where the real interesting part is, because I love. Don't get me wrong, I love talking to fighters about their careers, and I like, reminiscing and stuff. But it's usually what interests me is what they do after after the UFC or after fighting. So
Yeah,
you, like you said, I see it on Instagram all the time. You have your own gym, correct?
yeah, yeah. Crow
Love it.
Training Center. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Now, you're a little bit of an actor, all right? I've seen a couple of your stuff, just a little bit, right? You were you played a gang member in a French Canadian movie. You can say it because I don't want to like destroy the name, because again, I was trying to read it. I'm like, how do you say that? But
yeah. Oh, the French movie, La Rage de l'Ange. Yeah,
yeah, see, I
it's
would have,
French movie.
I
Yeah,
would have destroyed that. But yeah, so you were in that, all right, and then you also you did a short film yourself, which you wrote and you acted in, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's that
I
one?
wrote.
Because that one I don't want to kill it too. What's the name?
Oh, that one is Kilos. Yeah, yeah. The thing about me is, you know, I struggled with performance anxiety, and just general anxiety for a long time.
Okay.
Past traumas, that don't really need to talk about. But you know, for the longest time, I realized, like, I would always tell myself stories. Like, I would, before a fight, I was like, oh, what if this, what if that, a lot of what ifs. And then I was listening to some, motivational speeches and stuff like that, and I heard one of these guys it just hit me, turn negative into positive, to turn a negative into a positive. And then I'm like, you know what, man? Let me do that. I tell myself stories all the time. So why don't you write some stories? So I started writing. I wrote a lot of stories, man. A few scripts, a few movie scripts. I was just having fun, So I wrote the Kilos, and then a guy, Patrick Barbeau, someone who became a very good friend of mine, who's into movies, is a filmmaker himself, So he produced a few short films, and then I presented the idea to him, and then he was like, "Okay, let's do it. It's down. I'm down. Let's do it." So we did that. It was a very good experience. And then I started, you know, I used that short film, to as a demo, because there's an action scene, like the fight scene,
Yeah.
and then there's also, there's dialogue, there's some acting, and then I tried to get some roles and to get some work. It was very tough to get work. I couldn't get any lead roles and stuff like that, serious roles. Um, so the only thing I got was some stunt acting gigs. So it's fine. I mean, it's work. But then I saw this thing with Sylvester Stallone, this interview that he did, and I'm like, whoa, are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get any work, so he wrote Rocky. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, man. And
You know
then
his
and then
backstory, right? With his
but check
dog.
it out. See what? See what?
You ever heard the backstory with his dog? What happened with his dog that he's
Yeah, he had to sell his dog. He had
yeah.
to sell his dog. Yeah, man. And then he rebought it.
He had to buy it
he
expensive.
bought it back. Yeah, man. So this goes by, and then I see this thing, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then Creed, they announced the first Creed coming out.
Definitely.
So I'm like, man, I want to get in this thing. I want to get in this thing. So I send my stuff to casting agents and all that stuff to agencies, actors, friends that I know that are acting, or agents. I'm trying. I'm doing what I can. I'm saying some stuff to guys in LA, and I hear nothing back. So I'm like, man, I try again. Creed 2 comes out. I try again. So I'm like, man, sending stuff out, talking to people, trying to get my name out there, just to be like, an extra or something. And then I just wake up one day, and I'm like, start writing, like some voice, I don't know, man, start writing, write a story. And I had no beard before, like zero, like David Loiseau from the old school. So I'm like, I started thinking, I'm like, oh snap. I just started writing, erasing. I'm like, that's not good. I came up with a concept. At first, it was a boxer, and then the Clubber Lang story came up at the end. I was like, oh snap! Then I grew a beard. I said, what do I look like if I grow a beard? And then I'm like, I don't look exactly like him, but kind of like him. And then I saw that there was like Drago's son in the second one. I'm like, yeah, he can't be the son. So I'm gonna be related to him. And then I wrote the story. I wrote the script. The story, no one knows. Like, I didn't put out the synopsis and the story that I wrote. It's not out. But man, it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Stallone or Michael B. Jordan sees that, they're gonna be like, okay, already that it's gonna be a mega fight. Like Conor versus Floyd. It's gonna be like the heavyweight
MMA
champ
versus
MMA versus boxing, but in a boxing match, obviously. But then like you can see in the trailer, they don't want the fight, But then I tell them, listen, man, here's who's my uncle. You know what I'm saying? My uncle is, boom, Clubber Lang. So it's so interesting, man. The storyline is good. It's good.
It was very interesting. And again, if no one's seen it, I know you have it on your channel, right? David Loiseau TV.
Yes, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
It's on YouTube. If
Man,
anyone,
I got some good reviews, man, and it's at like 16,000-17,000 views now. It's getting momentum. It's good.
yeah, definitely. Again, before we end this, just let everyone know again where you can find that, where you can watch that that short clip. Because again, it was awesome. I remember when you showed it to me, I saw the thing that kind of sparked my light bulb. I'm like, wait, that looks really familiar. Is when you're doing the pull-ups exactly where like Clubber Lang was doing it, like how he had like that dark basement where he was training in Rocky 3, and he was just doing, and all you saw was his back, and I saw
Yeah.
you doing that, and I was like, oh man, that looks like, he has little similarities to Clubber Lang. And then
No, the video, that's not me. That's Clubber Lang, man.
that's Clubber Lang.
That's Clubber Lang. The chin ups. When I say, they know who my uncle is.
And then you pop, and that pops up.
Then it's Clubber Lang. Yeah, man. Yeah.
My bad. I was like, damn, like David Loiseau guy, look, he's going crazy. But yeah, again, it's a fascinating story, man. I think it has really good potential, and it would be really cool to see. So hopefully, again, fingers crossed that works for you, man. Someone sees it.
Bro, it's gonna happen, man. I believe it. It's a great thing. It's yeah, man. We're good. It's gonna be good.
That would be cool, man. That would be really cool. I would be really happy if that happens. But again, I mean, I'm happy for you. Again, like you did another film, Striking Truth, with your buddy GSP, right?
Oh yeah, well, I mean that was a documentary. Like it wasn't me that did it. It's a documentary. It's that's like 2012. Yeah. They followed us for like 4 years.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool.
Nice, very nice, man. So again, you're plugging your way into Hollywood, man. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's a new way of doing things. Like I had to put it out there. I had to put it out there on YouTube. Because it's a very interesting story, and I wanted to make sure it's people know that it's my story. Like I wrote it, and it's I put a lot of time and money in this. So
Look, it looks good, man.
And you can tell with the production, like you can tell the way it's done. It's like we didn't do that overnight.
Exactly. That wasn't just like someone that's getting just a little video camera and just filming. That looked like proper editing. It looked really good lighting. Everything looks
yeah,
good.
Man.
Looks good. I'm proud of you, man. I hope that takes off for you. Again, you had more views than I had in my damn channel.
Well, bro, you're beginning, right? So yeah, man. You're just getting started, bro.
Yes, sir.
Getting started. It's all good. It's all good.
But again, I just want to thank you for, again, coming on, man. It's been more than a pleasure to have, a UFC legend in my eyes come and just talk, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, man. And to be honest, man, I believe you're very good. You're a great interviewer, and you shouldn't have nothing to worry about with your podcast. It's gonna grow, man. It's gonna grow. I see it. I believe it, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a great energy. So don't worry about it.
Thank you, man. So someone told me that I had no personality. That's why I do interviews. Can you believe that shit?
Well, I mean, that's a lot of people. Let me tell you something, man. When someone goes out of their way to insult you, man, they're not in a good place, man. You know what I'm saying? So let them talk. Yeah, you have just let them be, man. They don't matter. They're not on the same page as you. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Yeah,
I
get you. I understand that completely. And again, thank you so much, man. It's been an honor to have you on, man.
Hey, man, my pleasure, bro. Thanks for having me, and let's do it again.
Let's do it again, man. Anytime you want, you're always welcome, man. Just shoot me a text, and we're good, bro.
Awesome. Thank you, man. All the best, bro. All the best.